morning. Today, I'm honored and very happy to be with you. Now you may wonder, what is this little girl doing here? First thing, I'm not a scientist or an innovator yet. But today I am here to share with you my thoughts about social innovation, renewable energy and equality, leaving no one behind. And now maybe you are thinking, she's so cute. I believe so. First, you should know that it took 11 years for me to look this good. So you may think, who is this 11-year-old girl? What does she know about social innovation? What she is doing here? Did someone else wrote the speech for her? Extra, extra, extra. Now let's start with who is who. At the age of 9, I presented World Children's Vision at the Resit Agora at the United Nations. At the age of 10, I was the youngest Turk to address the United Nations General Assembly. At the age of 11, I co-chaired the first Girls in Science panel at the United Nations. I think this is enough about me. By looking at your faces, I can see that. Why are you here? My answer to you is,
I am here to share my vision on transforming our world through the renewable energies. You might think that I am a child and what kind of vision I have for the world. In fact, if you think for a moment, you will realize that I am the future leader, as well my friends from all around the world. Yes, we the children are the future leaders of this world. Each one of us will have his or her own job, and we will lead our countries. We, the children of the world, we all like each other and we love to live in peace. You older people are controlling our lives, taking decisions without asking us. So far your decisions led to wars, global warming, cutting the trees, and disturbing the environment, our environment. Hunger and poverty is everywhere. Inequality between boys and girls, men and women, between countries and people is increasing every day. With all your failures, you still think that you know the best about our future. You did not ask us and you never sought our opinion. You did not leave us anything beautiful. What you gave us are wars, inequality, distraction, and if I will start counting, I will not finish.
secondly, you may think that, what does she know about social innovation? Well, today is the United Nations International Day of Families. And I am sure that many of you don't know about this or busy at work most probably. Busy talking about business and development. But the question I want to ask you, how can you succeed in your business development if you forget the importance of the family? And how can you achieve your social innovation if you forget the base of the pyramid, the family that forms the society? And how can you reach the top of the pyramid if your base is weak? We must not forget that there is no social innovation without family. I am the daughter of two remarkable dentists. However, if it was not for my big family, I will not be invited here. I will tell you about my big family. 50 years ago, Resit was founded by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin King Faisal Al Hashemite, invest in future leaders who have difficult social circumstances. Through the years, RESIT served and prepared more than 21,500 students and youth to face the challenges of the continuously changing and developing world. And almost 50% of them are women in science. So if you think, why youth? Because the potential of youth as partners for development is the main objective of RESIT's work since it was founded in 1069. And RESIT is committed to empowering youth and ensuring their participation actively in shaping the societies in which they live through education, training, networking, acknowledgement of achievements, and most importantly, to make their voice heard. 50 years ago, Rashid took the lead and organized the first International Youth Conference with UNESCO, and the main outcome is the International Youth Day. If we list some of the Rashid's achievements, Sustainable Development Studies Center, Women in Science International League, and one of many achievements, world recognition to the role of women and girls in science in sustainable development programs. Thanks to RESIT, the voice of women in science experts is heard at the United Nations. Campaigns, governments, universities, and organizations are now looking at women in science expertise. Girls like me are choosing science because we have now more role models to look at. Refugees, women in science are more helped, and even the rights of disabled girls in science is now recognized internationally. Like my friend Helen Chen, first youth to moderate official panel at the United Nations. And this year we had our first Girls in Science panel at the United Nations. We know that girls in science are heard and our opinion counts.
I am the first girl for girls spokesperson for RESIT. My first activity for RESIT is to start a viral campaign for spreading knowledge through education about girls in science in support of sustainable development. I ask you all officials, ambassadors, and everyone to make a pledge. I support girls in science.
One of the examples.
And finally, as an ambassador and as a father of a little girl, I do pledge my support for girls in science, and thank you.
This is how RESIT is investing in future leaders. Firstly, education and science are very important. Studies to identify problem of each community and find proper solution that is implemented, and also sustainable advocacy at international community. Empowerment through mentoring, partnership through we mentality. And now back to me, why I am here. Let's talk some science. What is leaving no one behind, and relations between education, science, equality, and social innovation? Let's start with leaving no one behind. It's the motto for the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. By 2030, the countries are aiming to achieve the 17 goals. These 17 goals should be sustainable. What does the word sustainable mean? It means continuous and maintain. It's always easy to start anything, but it's difficult to keep it ongoing and maintain it. I believe that every work should be sustainable. And if we think in a sustainable way, with the we mentality, we will leave a better world for us, our children, and those coming after. So with these thoughts in mind, I can say that my vision for social innovation is education for all. One of the 17 SDGs is Goal 4, Equality Education. SDG 4 talks about By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable and quality primary and secondary education leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. By 2030, ensure equal access for all, women and men, to affordable and quality technical, vocational and tertiary education, including university. Thus, education is a basic human right. Unfortunately, children with disabilities don't have proper access to education. If given the chance, deaf children can be engineers, lawyers, doctors, dentists, or scientists like you. Children with autism also can be good professionals if given the chance. I have a very good example for you. Let me introduce you Dr. Esra El-Babli. She is the first Arab deaf dentist. Another example for you. Burası ayrı gidiyor. Let me... Another example for you, Thomas Edison. As a child, he was hyperactive and struggled with dyslexia. He didn't learn to read until the age of 12. Can you imagine what kind of world would we live today if Thomas Edison didn't have a chance for education? Like all children with disabilities should have the rights in education. The other two SDGs that I want to mention are 5 and 10. Gender equality and reduced inequalities. I am Razit's spokesperson for Girls in Science. I advocate for the rights of girls in education and science. I advocate for equality between boys and girls in science. Thanks to my parents, I am so lucky to see so many parts of the world and visit different countries. Through my visits, I noticed that inequality is not only between boys and girls, but also between countries and between cities and villages. On my visit to Africa, I saw that children don't have proper health clinics and schools. They even don't have clean water to drink, nor comfortable homes to live in like we do. In fact, and unfortunately, they don't have our fundamental requirement to live, electricity. Can you imagine living without electricity only for one day? I couldn't. To solve these problems, we have Goal 7, affordable and clean energy. What is clean energy? It's the energy that we get from the sun, wind and water without causing any harm on the environment. In simple way, it's powering the world without destroying it. You all know about the bad effect of global warming. Power sector emissions that causes numerous health problems such as asthma, heart attacks and premature deaths. And I am sure you all agree with me that we need clean energy. The most famous one is the solar energy that we get from the sun. Another important source is the wind energy. And if you ask why renewable energy, because the sun and the wind, it belongs to all of us, it's for everyone. This means no more wars and killing innocent children and innocent people and no more refugees. Also, it doesn't harm our environment and our health, and it's cheaper, modern and sustainable. So what is the relation between renewable energy and social innovation? Renewable energy means electricity. And in villages, electricity will help equipments to work, and proper storage for medicine will be possible. These all will help to achieve SDGs without leaving anyone behind. If you ask why we need renewable energy for social innovation, why it is important? For example, if big buildings will operate on renewable energy, what will happen? The price of electricity bill is the same. It doesn't increase with world problems. When you reduce electricity bills, you save money. and the money you save can be used for supporting students, research and help patients who cannot pay for treatment. By achieving these, you will help the environment. If you save a lot of money, then you can help building schools or playgrounds for children in poor countries. You can go to countries that need your help, and also you can do nice shopping at Zorlu Mall. But how can we achieve sustainable social innovative? Firstly, investing in education for everyone, boys and girls, is very important. For this, universities and companies may provide scholarships for students from developing countries. Also, investing in science because it solves problems. Another way can be people visiting villages and rural areas. Please educate and train people there so they can do the same. Companies to donate equipment and materials. And last, renewable energy to generate electricity for clinics and schools. Today you are here to talk about social innovation. The importance of your work is to help more people who need help and you. Social innovation is not a job. It's a way to help others based on their needs. Please think about the benefit of the people when you do any work and how to make a real difference in their lives. Innovation and sustainable development is not a fashion. It's my and your children's future. Don't forget, we do not have to be the same. Equality means to have similar opportunities. With all these gender equalities, quality education and SDGs, maybe you are saying that someone else wrote the speech for her. But I listen, observe, read, search, ask, imagine a better life for all, think how can this happen, and have the courage to write and speak. Yes, I'm 11 years old and very thankful for the help I always get from my parents, my teachers, a mentor, a role model, Her Royal Highness Princess Dr. Nesrin El Hashamite. I have time to go to school. I have time to read. I have time to observe, ask and learn. I have time to prepare a presentation and to work with Razit to advocate for girls in science and sustainable development. And still have time to dance. Finally,
I will leave you with one thought. Take the vision and wisdom from women scientists, giving the fact that I will be a future woman in science. Take the vision and wisdom from me.
I wish you success.